Hi there and welcome to a new video by Yes and Explore. In this video, we'll show you how to get to the island of Bohol all the way from Boracay, one of the Philippines' most famous islands. Bohol is an island with beautiful beaches and unique wildlife. It's located east from Cebu City, which is in the Visayas region. We'll take you on our journey and show you exactly how you can reach this underappreciated island. Our first leg of the journey was making it to Caticlan Airport, which, if you're leaving from Boracay Island, involves a minivan, a jetty, and a bus transfer. We booked the tickets for this at one of the travel agencies on the island, and in our case we used Southwest as they appear to be the biggest tour operator in the region, and we used them to get to the island as well, so this was the easiest option for us. For our transfer to the airport, we paid 750 Philippine pesos per person. You can do this a little cheaper if you design the trip yourself, but we didn't mind paying for the comfort of the door-to-door service. And we decided to carry our own luggage to the port this time because last time they said it was included, but it really wasn't, and then they chased us down to receive payment, which was not a very fun experience. So getting to the island involved lots of paperwork and paying the fees. Right now, all we had to do was write down our names and go towards the entrance, where we were waved through and received our seat numbers for the boat. We were one of the first ones to get on the boat, but it filled up pretty quickly and the boat was absolutely packed with people, which explained why they picked us up at the hotel half an hour earlier than agreed. This time we had numbered seats, as opposed to our outbound journey when we could sit wherever we wanted. We got to have one last look at the beautiful waters of Boracay, and in about 15 minutes we made it back to the mainland. At the jetty port, there was a big bus waiting to take us to the airport. And this bus ride took about 10 minutes and it dropped us off at the departures building. And if you remember from our video on how to get to Boracay, the arrivals hall was the tiniest one we had ever seen, with just a counter on which they put your luggage, but the actual departures building is much bigger. So after clearing the first security check right at the entrance, we checked in. We then went through security again and noticed that we were a whole 3 hours early before our flight. And as you can see, the departures area was super busy, so we went looking for a spot that was a little quieter. Luckily, we noticed this long hallway with a staircase, and we decided to take our chance. Speaking of taking chances, take a chance on us by liking our video and subscribing to our channel. As you can see, our chance to go up the stairs paid off, and there was a super big waiting area with also some coffee and some snacks available, and a spot to watch the incoming airplanes. So after our 3-hour wait, our Cebu Pacific flight to Cebu City was ready to board. Or at least we thought so, because once we got on the bus and it left, it also stopped again, and we waited for 20 minutes on the runway before we actually drove to the airplane. We got on the plane and took our seats, and before we knew it, we were off to Cebu City. For this 1-hour flight, we paid around 1,900 Philippine pesos per person, and that includes check-in luggage and a seat up front. So far, we've flown this airline 3 times, and I guess we are lucky because we didn't encounter any issues with them. So for a budget airline, they're actually pretty good. We landed right on time in Cebu City, but our journey doesn't stop here yet, because now we had to find a way to get to the ferry terminal so we could go to Bohol Island. We arrived at 2 in the afternoon and retrieved our bags quickly, so we thought we could make the ferry that was leaving at 4:20 p.m. We booked a Grab taxi, but the 12-kilometer ride took more than 60 minutes because of traffic. So when we finally arrived at the ferry terminal, the whole situation was a little chaotic. There were so many people when we got there, and everybody was lining up for something else. So we were looking for a little bit, but then we found the counter for Oceanjet, the only ones that actually have a ferry service in the late afternoon. We arrived 5 minutes before our intended departure, but unfortunately it was too late. So we got tickets for the last boat to Bohol of the day, and that one left at 5:40 p.m. If you don't purchase tickets beforehand online, keep in mind that you can only pay cash at the counter. We ended up buying the so-called business class tickets for 1,200 pesos as opposed to 800 pesos per person for the tourist class tickets. And as you notice, there were some people still trying to catch the ferry before us. We don't know if they made it on time, but we do hope so for them. Once you're inside the terminal building, you'll have to pay the terminal fee and go to the counter to check in for your ferry. If you have check-in luggage, you'll also have to pay 100 pesos per bag to get them on board. And taking them yourself on board is not allowed, unfortunately. We thought that it was included in our ticket, but apparently it wasn't. Just the hand luggage is included in the business ticket. So keep in mind that if you're traveling in a tourist class seat, you cannot bring any suitcase with you and you have to check in every single piece. As luck would have it, our boat had a delay, so we could watch our bags sitting sadly on the dock watching the sunset. And with about a 20-minute delay, the ferry appeared and we got to go on board. At this point, we were very happy that we chose the business seats because it was way less crowded and the seats were super comfortable and could even be adjusted. The sun was already setting, so it was a perfect recipe for a little nap on this 2-hour journey. But before we left, there was first a little prayer that was played on the TV. And in case that wouldn't work, they played the safety and evacuation instructions right after. When the boat left, it had gotten dark already, and the movie was played on the screen. And in case you missed it, the tourist class seats were downstairs and they look like this. They seem okay too, just it's a little more crowded and we weren't really feeling that. We arrived around 8 p.m. and we were very ready to go to our hotel near Alona Beach. Make sure to watch our next video if you want to know what that was like. Spoiler alert, it was very nice. Overall, the journey to get to Bohol isn't very difficult, just long and takes lots of different modes of transportation. There's also the option to fly directly to Bohol from Manila or El Nido, but from Boracay and Cebu City, the ferry is the way to go. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget that if you want to see more, subscribe to us at Yes and Explore. Bye!